Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my studio. So today we're painting an orc. Well, basically the underpainting of an orc in this box set, and we're painting this guy. So we've been dry brush layering the past few models, and I guess you guys liked it. So I thought I'd create like a dedicated tutorial on our dry brush layering with this video. This video is perfect for people who don't have an airbrush or just don't want to set up their airbrush just for underpainting. In the past few videos, we used German brown and even purple for the underpainting, but for this video, we're going to stick with the basics and use grays. First, we dry brush dark gray. So for old time subscribers, you guys all know that I hate painting over black primer. However, I must admit that painting over black primer yields the most like volume or depth to your model. The black primer will simply give us like the black outline that we need so much, which is like the black outline in between elements like the clothes and then the skin, so that we have more definition. Oh, my apologies for using the glass palette for a basic tutorial, but you could use a dish, a plate, or an old tile for this. The great thing about using a glass palette is that you don't need a tissue paper to unload the paint. You could actually stop at this point and start painting the layers, but we'll move on to lighter gray colors. Now we dry brush neutral gray. So basically, as we go lighter, as the colors or the grays gets lighter, we apply less and less pressure so that we create like a sort of layering, meaning like the previous color, the darker color, paints more areas, and then you paint less areas with the dry brush because you're applying less pressure. So basically, this dry layering method or whatever it is, it's basically dry brushing and layering at the same time. We create more volume by using more colors or more gray tones here, and we create like more depth to the model. And since we're using more colors, not necessarily more paints, you could mix the paint so that you have more colors. We're creating nice transitions via dry brushing. Now we dry brush medium sea gray. This is a lighter gray color. You could mix like the previous color and like the lighter color or the lightest color that you have, so that you create more tonal values. So you don't really have to have these paints, but the point is you use more color so that you create layering in a way via dry brushing, and you create nice transitions. Also, I failed to mention, we're kinda going for a zenithal underpainting here. Basically, zenithal is like simulating a light source, meaning the topmost areas are lighter. So we're using a smaller brush so that we could really be more precise with the painting of this lighter gray. We are also painting more light gray on the skin parts, well, at least the top areas of the skin parts, but you've noticed that I don't paint this light gray underneath, which is the leg part. So we're simulating light source here just via dry brushing. You might tell me or ask me, why aren't we painting the actual colors of the model? Simply because dry brushing, no matter how careful you are or no matter how expensive your brush are, you will come up with a very dusty and rough texture. The rough texture will be smoothened out by glazes and a bit of glaze layering, so I don't really mind the rough texture, and sometimes there are certain elements of the model that are great with the rough texture, especially the groundwork. Now we're using white gray. I don't use white over this one because again, dry brushing, no matter how careful you are, will produce rough texture, and will do like the highlights with typical highlight or edge highlighting with glazes and actual paint, so that we come up with smooth highlights. We are practically dusting the white gray, not dry brushing. Dusting, the pressure is so minimal, it's so light, so that we create a layering effect in comparison to like the previous color, so that we paint like really selected areas only. Now we do a lazy wash. This is filtering. I just fondly call it lazy wash. You could use shades here or washes, but I prefer my inks. But all of those you have to thin down so that they will become more runny. And more runny means they will like fill up the details and crevices, giving you more contrast to your model. This lazy wash is optional, but I highly recommend you do this because it's going to really create a nice contrast for this zenithal underpainting. Lastly, the lazy wash or filtering will smoothen out our dry brushing. Also, it will like blend like all of the gray tones that we did earlier. However, it will darken the model a bit. You could actually go back to dusting or light dry brushing of the white gray if you want more highlights after the lazy wash. So at the right side is zenithal underpainting with an airbrush, and of course our orc today is zenithal underpainting with a dry brush. So what's better? Well, basically it's up to you to like experiment and see. Both though are great for our glazing technique. I did not record the painting on video because it's just a battle ready commission, and it's painted via our usual glazing technique. Our usual glazing technique that you've seen in the most recent videos, we're calling it glaze layering or glaring. So I hope you're looking forward to more glaring painting, but I hope you like this very basic dry brushing video. That's it, we're done. I hope you liked the video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel so that you'll be part of our Discord community. Saludos!